Man, dog, listen, man. Listen, hey, what's up, locker room? I'm sorry. Hey, hey, all right. This is crazy. This is funny, y'all. I was sitting here, man, getting ready, man, come to you guys, talk to you guys, man, right? And so, first thing I did was, open up my phone to try to go to some notes I had written earlier as I was walking around today. Yeah. And, and as soon as I open up my phone, hey, what's up, Shining Star? How you doing, bro? What's up? David, Phil, what's up, Phil? It's hot in Albuquerque. I need to come to Albuquerque. I keep telling you that I'm coming. He looks younger these days. Who looks younger these days? Let me show y'all something. It's funny. When I got here, right, and I've been working all day, been meeting with Netflix out here in LA, right? But as soon as I got in, right, I saw this. Excuse me. Oh man, excuse me, man. But y'all know I love Le'Veon Bell, man. That's my boy. Y'all see that? Now, why would he post that? Why would he? Oh my God! Oh my God! I'm sweating. That was so funny, boy. Hey, oh, that's funny. That's funny. That's funny. He's so crazy, man. I gotta call this Joker, man. Then he got down here free Le'Veon. That's funny, bro. That's funny, bro. Say what you will. That's funny, bro. That's funny. I'm gonna show you something else I saw very funny. Because you guys are hearing about it, and we'll talk about it. There's a lot to talk about. First of all, let's congrats to Spain winning the World Cup. We'll give them the love that they deserve. And we thank you all for a great, great tournament, right? Great tournament. We enjoyed it all. But it's football season now. It's real football season. And there are a lot of things we can talk about that's going on in a lot of sports. And there are things that we want to talk about that's going on in the sports broadcasting world, with what ESPN is doing. But make no mistake about it, we got teams heading into camp now. Baby, the time is here. The time is here. Oh, the time is here. Man, can you believe we are about to embark upon another football season? That's it. There's nothing to talk about. It's here. Come on home, baby. We've been waiting on you. We've been waiting on you. And all the other ones, they've been fun, but we've been waiting on you. We're going to talk about what we got coming up, because we got a football season coming up. And boy, it's going to be a very interesting football season. What's going to happen with Aaron Donald? I want to know. There's so much playing going on out here in LA. And what happens, I didn't think Aaron Donald would be thinking about coming back, but this thing can be like an elixir to you, you know. Everybody's talking about seeing this thing together, Aaron Donald and Myles Garrett. So now it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Aaron Donald was like, maybe I wasn't thinking about it, but man, I didn't know to get all this attention. And now he's walking off the field with guys over at the complex, everything. You do know where the Super Bowl is, right? Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know if I can tell you what because there's some things that we were just talking about in the Netflix meeting that Netflix will be doing, but I don't know if I can tell you just yet. Because they were telling me stuff. But just give it a minute. But it's good. There's this, but I'm glad Netflix will do it. You'll hear about it. Netflix will do it, and they're going to blow it out. It pertains to the NFL. Yeah, it pertains to the NFL. I'm sure I'm gonna let them tell you guys, but it's going to be big. And getting some of those things Netflix has to do, they got a choice. There's a lot of talent out there. So whatever direction they move in, and even today, being honest with you guys, because you're my guys, and that meeting I had with them, we did talk about some of the things that are going on all around with ESPN letting the Ryan Clarks go, letting guys go. Now, I came on laughing about, this one right here, about, oh no, it's gone, dang, about the Ryan, about my boy, Le'Veon Bell, right? But then I also saw something else. Did you guys see 4th and 1 what they put out with Cam, which is pretty swifty. Boy, it's all coming up on my feed now, is the Ryan Clark thing. But 4th and 1 put out Cam Newton sitting on his luggage outside of ESPN saying, didn't see this one coming. And that they used that to drop as a promo, which I thought was Cam the crowd. I wanted to show it to y'all and messed around and went past it. But it was cool. Parting ways. Boy, that thing everywhere. But people, listen, let me tell you something. I am fired while still on the air. That was something. Let's talk Ryan. Ryan was fired while still on air. While still on air. That's kind of hard for the kind of work Ryan has done. And Ryan has done some very good work at ESPN. I know a lot of you guys, a lot of people say things, and some people didn't like Ryan, I guess, but I loved Ryan. I love Ryan Clark. I think he's a great dude. I think he's great at what he does. And he'll speak a strong opinion. And some people get upset. They think he gets a little too much political or race, but I think Ryan's a brilliant, talented guy. And I, honestly, people, the business is changing. ESPN has to go through some things and learn. It was like, okay, all of this, and you guys got to see what's happening here. Let me be right with you. Be straight with you. Anytime you do not move forward because you've had such great success doing what you've been doing for so long, even as the landscape changed, you think your great success can move through it. That means you're rigid. Rigidness is bad. There have been plenty of examples of this. ESPN is here because of rigidness. This is the reality of life. Sports Illustrated, and we were just talking about this at a meeting. Sports Illustrated at the time had the country in sports. Everybody was all about Sports Illustrated. The Sports Illustrated model that came out. And a friend of mine, well, a friend of Steve's, my agent, told Sports Illustrated back then, when they were top dog, you should think about starting a 24-hour sports network. Sports Illustrated, we got that thing. We know what we're doing. What? 24-hour sports networks? No way. Said no. The guy still has the letter that they wrote him today. He shows us the letter right now today. 2 years later, ESPN, crump, bam, blew up. Bye-bye, Sports Illustrated. You see what I mean? You're too rigid. and you didn't get caught. We were going towards more. You blew it. You don't have to stay in the sports world. Go over to Sears. Sears had this great catalog. They mailed out catalogs. Everybody loved their catalogs. They get the catalogs. I got my catalog. You go through your shop. Anything you want in that catalog. Sears, rigid in their business, would not move forward. When computers came in, internet came in, Sears said, no, we still gonna send out these damn catalogs. Okay, Amazon took all the stuff they had in the catalog, put it on the computer, called it Amazon, and look at them today. You were too rigid, Sears, to move forward. That's what's happening. Blockbuster. I'm talking about Netflix. Blockbuster did the same thing. They could have got Netflix for nothing. But no, we like people coming in and getting the tapes. I was part of it. I got them all day, put them in there, and Blockbuster stayed right there. Netflix ran them out of business. They were too rigid. And ESPN. They have to keep turning and changing to make sure that what they did to Sports Illustrated doesn't happen to them right now. And that's what they're trying to do. Maintain priority shows. Pat McAfee, Stephen A. Smith First Take. But they'll move in and out of people. And I tell you, notice what too now. The people they move in will already have some kind of footprint in social media to help, because it's not, you can't come in now and just be the broadcaster, because that's not the only place the game is played anymore. So yeah, but I believe those guys will land on their feet. At least I hope they do. And you know, it's so funny. I remember I've been let go in this business before, and people always say, yeah, you'll land back on your feet. You'll land back on your feet. But, you know, that junk hurts. You know, I had never really been cut from a football team, never gotten traded. And then, you know, it was let go. It hurt. That was hard. But now, you know, after a while, you understand it's the business. And you try to move on. Man. But I think for Cam Newton now, and I told y'all guys, you got to see it. They really did a great piece. I can see I show speed in ESPN. Yeah. Look at all what he'll bring to them right now. This is the new landscape. Man, this new landscape. I love it. I love it because, you know what? Let me tell you. And we can talk about this. You know why this is good? Because here, I love it because you can be who you are. You can do what you do. And you ain't got to play those games that people play. You know what I mean? Yeah, but you didn't deserve that, man. Yeah, I know, but I'm in a happier place, to be honest with you. I'm in a happier place. And it was that now, dude, I'm telling you something, that did bother me, especially last time. I promised my people, I said, hey, we're not doing any more network stuff. I said, I don't care. You know, I don't, because, and I'm gonna be straight with you. Soon as people know you do it, then it's always something coming up. I was gonna talk about this with Cheryl Underwood when I interviewed her yesterday on the White House podcast, and I was talking about, you know, that she was like, why like talking about why football players, we were talking about Shannon, why football players get in situations, and I was saying, you know, Cam and I had a conversation about this, like rappers don't get in those situations with women a lot, but a football player will, or a basketball player, and I was like, you know, I said, well, the reason is because the rappers is an entity in himself, and he works for labels, record labels, but labels don't care. They're rapping the music as bad as I don't know what. They just want you to tune in, you know. But when you work for the NFL, they who deal with sponsors, they care. So trying it with the rapper and all of that, you get nowhere because they have no governing body over them that says you do this, you can get in trouble. But in the NFL, we have the NFL. You got the NBA, and they know that. And so, yeah. So that's why things happen more in these leagues than it does if you just sing, a rapper or singer like that. We're just talking about that, and there's truth to it because they know they're not. Well, I'm not gonna say that because it's not everybody, but a lot of people are presenting situations they know are not true, and they know nobody has time to find out about the truth. They just present it, and they know you don't want that. So yeah, man, my hair real, man. Listen, man, stop talking about that stuff, y'all. Stuff here, they don't know. Speaking of, man, when I left, you're talking about guys when I got hurt. When I left the last time, and I told my people, I said I'm not doing any more network stuff, right? And I was joking with Stephen A. This is years ago. I was joking with Stephen A. I said, man, I'm done with it. And he, remember when I was with him, he used to always try to mess with me about my hair. He said, yeah, you'll come back. I said, I'm not coming back. I said, I'm not doing any more network stuff. And then he said, I tell you what, if you do, we're going to cut that hair. I said, okay, I promise you cut it. You cut my hair because, he always messes with my hair. But no, I'm not cutting my hair. And I'm not doing it. And I'm telling you all I know, I'm getting ready for some footballs right now in the football season. That's what we're about to do. What's up, Mike from Broward County? Broward County, that's me. Yo, my dog. Okay, bro, what's up? That's Elway 21, huh? Maybe good. The Chim Dog. Is the hair real, man? You better ask somebody. Come on. I didn't think about it that way. It makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Playmaker Irvin. You talked to Keyshawn lately. Yeah, I had Keyshawn on the show. I interviewed Keyshawn, man. It's funny you asked that. I interviewed Keyshawn the other day on the show. So he had just gotten back from out of the country and came by on the White House show. So yeah, and I saw Paul Pierce at Phonetics Fest. He was supposed to come by the show, but he got hung up doing some other stuff. You know what I mean? So that was cool. But that's my boy, man. You ever talk to Jerome Bettis? I love Jerome Bettis, dude. Yeah, I'll see him here in August. You guys understand August for the Hall of Fame game in a couple weeks? Excuse me. I'm looking forward to that. We always have fun. Jerome Bettis, I can't even tell you what Jerome always having some kind of new stuff to try and give you, that you try out. You know what I mean? That's what I want to get to too. We're going to get to that Dallas and Dion question. Let's get to some of that Dallas and Dion and NFL stuff. Because that's the reality of what we going to talk about out here, bro. Bro, I can't wait, bro. I literally cannot wait. Wait. I literally cannot wait. Hold on. Let me get this one. Yeah. I cannot wait for this season. Now, this is an interesting season, dude, because, like I said to you guys, this is as quiet as we have had it going into any part of a football season the last 7-8 years. So I'm anxious to see so many things. Now, first, I love the clap back against Steve Smith when he said that he was a better receiver than you. He said he'll wait at the bottom of it. Yeah, you said because you have to carry all those rings. Yeah, that was man, that wasn't Steve Smith, but I remember what you talked about. I remember what you're talking about right there. Now, he's talking about when I was talking about how having carry all those heavy rings, why I slipped to the bottom of the Hall of Fame. But we have so much fun in the Hall of Fame. But yeah, man, let's get to talking NFL football and why this is a great season. Let's get in the AFC. In that AFC, think about the core of it. It's been a long time, and we were wondering, we were wondering in our minds, when is that great dynasty going to turn? I remember wondering for so many years, when will that Patriot dynasty turn? And then, Tom goes over to Tampa, and that thing, gone. And it's right around time you saw the young man coming in, Patrick Mahomes, raising up, playing Tampa in that first Super Bowl, raising it up. And you wonder, boy, they got a Tyreek Hill, Travis, they'll be this for a long time. And they did. They had a hell of a run, but that run is done. I know they're bringing back coaches and trying to hook you in and do it again. That run is done. You look over in that AFC and you look at it even in that. Forget the conference. Just look in the division with Denver, with what they're doing, with the Chargers, with what they're doing. I don't know if you say the Chiefs come out of the division, let alone do they come out the conference. So, and at the pressure that's in Buffalo, because this is supposed to be how we let the pressure up off of Josh Allen by getting rid of the head coach. Remember, I saw Josh Allen cry like that. It hurt me so much. Remember the owner said this. And I felt it when he said it. And he told you who he blamed. Josh has been doing everything he can. It's that defensive guy. We're going to get him, Sean McDermott, out of here. Got him out of here. Gave Josh his blankie as the head coach. So now what they're saying is if any crying is going on at the end of this year by Josh Allen, he's crying because he didn't get it done. We just got rid of the person that caused the problem that stopped him from getting it done before. Now, you tell me, that's the most pressure any man has on the football field, I think, in the AFC this year. Patrick Mahomes coming back off of an injury, I can't place it there. Joe Burrow, Joe Burrow have some pressures on him. Lamar Jackson has a new coach. Similar situation. They told Lamar Jackson, they said, Lamar Jackson, we're taking you over Coach Harbaugh. We're going to find an offense to fit you. And forget what he's talking about. So when you're looking at Josh and Lamar, that's the weight of the world on their shoulders. And the weight of everything, because we've done everything, and the danger of it all. Because if it's completely collapsed, now we got to sweep all of this out of here and start anew. And I don't know. Maybe it's the plan, because Lamar, I've always heard, this is me, I always heard Lamar wanted to be in Miami. He wanted to be with his people, wanted to be with his boys. And now that the pressure's all on Lamar, if you don't get the team there, I don't know. But think about it now. New contract did Patrick Mahomes, he just got about $65 million, right? 65, his new money, because he just keeps rotating his money up. When they need money, they give him more money, boop, and they move money over. So if he's $60 million on the cap, $50 million on the cap, they said, let's give you a $30 million signing bonus. They put that into a bonus. And that $30 million really gets spread out now over the life of that contract to help relieve some issues in the front end. That's what they keep doing. Patrick Mahomes, he keeps getting, I think he's about $65 million a year right now. So the question coming up to Lamar is he's going to be worth 70, 73 million, 71 million, 72 million. Is that crazy that we're talking about these numbers? A year. A year. These dudes get 4 years at 70 million a year, and then we talking about it's time to get another deal. It's incredible. It's insane where this game has gone, and our love for this game has gone. But that's where that pressure's going to lie in the AFC. I can't fathom. I don't even know who I would say right now. Excuse me. Who I would say right now is my favorite to win the AFC. Man, so I don't know how to make an assessment without seeing something together. Being Patriots. I know Vrabel. I got to see how that thing's going to affect Vrabel, but I would not pick Patriots to be the favorites. I would have to. I don't know who I would take. You see, but that. Now let me tell you something. That I'm a true studier of the game. Right now, it's so hard for me to determine at first glance because first glance means nothing. What I mean by that is I can look at this and say, okay, even though all of it is not compiled, let me see who all has as many consistent components that they had from last year, and say this is the team I'm going to take. So, for example, if I said, well, I know Cincinnati still has Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. With those three, they can. Hey, you always got a chance. Cincinnati's defense has been so bad, and it's given us so many problems, so many issues, that you can't say that. So I can't take what's most consistent and then just make them number one because it's most consistent, because the thing they've been most inconsistent about is so big that even though they got a possibility of this, you know they got a real possibility of that. Now, I say that about the Cincinnati Bengals, which is the C, but I also say that about the D that comes right after that, even though it's in a different conference. I'm talking about the Cincinnati Bengals, but we ain't far from the Dallas Cowboys. The same thing. We got an offensive group that can score with the best of them or any of them. And we had a defensive group that'll let people score with the best, that'll let people score with the worst of them. You know what I mean? And we got a lot of new people on that defense, just like Cincinnati. But the slight difference is we put some pretty good names on that defense. We put a pretty good defensive coordinator that we took from Philadelphia that will bring in some of the knowledge of the team that has won the division the last few years. So he has an understanding. And I know they're changing the offense and changing some things in Philadelphia for Jalen Hurts. And I know they don't have A.J. Brown anymore, but having Christian Parker and what he has had with his time in Philadelphia, I don't care if it's just a few people thinking it. Man, you know, he's different, man. You know, Chris Parker practiced against us. He knows a lot about this offense. All I need is a few people thinking that that's a chance to take an edge. And it will really be that edge. So he's going to give them that edge. He knows Donovan McNabb. He's been in the meetings when Coach said, Donovan McNabb just can't do this. Well, we look at this area right here. He just can't do this. This is the area. This is the blind spot. This is where we come into an issue with. He sees all of that. He's seen all of that. He locked it in his brain. You never thought about it when you guys were talking about him that he was going to take that knowledge and put it in our pocket. And now we're going to pull it out like a switchblade and cut your throat. I'm just telling you I'm okay. Don't get carried away, Michael. Stop it. Okay. I'm so fucking crazy. I'm so crazy, but I ain't get carried away with that. But I'm telling you, it's going to be interesting. It really is. Now, this New York stuff and the Washington in our division, guys, you know. I'm going to be interesting to see what happens. And I'll tell you this. I saw Odell. I was asking Odell when I saw him at Phonetics that about New York. He's happy to be back in New York. He has a cute little son with him, man. So beautiful. He's happy to be back in New York. And him and Malik Neighbors would be beast. But I've been hearing that he really wouldn't say anything, but I've been hearing out here that Malik Neighbors is coming back slow. You know what I mean? Coming back a little slow, his knee. And I think they had to go have some problems. Good to see Mike kicking it with us. And he had some problems, I think, on the recovery, so he may not be back for the first 4 games. And then I did see Cam Scatterboo flipping on stage. And I'm gonna get back to that in a second. Flipping on stage, and which I thought was interesting, because I saw after that people talking about him flipping and risking his recovery of that leg, but he was just trying to show everybody he's doing better, he's doing well, but it was a risk because everybody was comparing it to something that Coach Ryan had said on TV when he saw, get this, Shedeur Sanders standing in a photo shoot, and they had number 12 jerseys all over the floor, right? And everybody was talking about, look at this, Shedeur is being selfish. Shedeur is being selfish. A quarterback doesn't do things like this, but quarterbacks take photo shoots all the time. And it's funny though, and it really is funny, like, and I'm not even putting color on this thing, but Jason Dart, I love the way he plays. He plays hard, plays wild, he plays crazy, you gotta calm him down. That's not the typical leader quarterback, trying to run people over and all of these things. You gotta protect you from himself. You gotta say, man, you can't do that. These guys are too big, you can't do it. Now, they can do whatever he does or whatever some guys do. It's no problem. But this kid just took, this young man, I shouldn't call him a kid. This young man just takes a picture on his jerseys. On his jerseys. It's the eye of the photographer. I'm sure he didn't come up with that photo shoot idea, or did he? Because what I saw was brilliance. What I saw was brilliance. Let me tell you my eye. All they saw was him standing in a photo booth, standing up with all those jerseys up under him. And they were like, oh, look at this self-aggrandizement. Look at me attitude. I thought brilliance was in it, really. I mean, he's standing there fighting for the starting job with Deshaun Watson. Fighting to make up what he thought was stolen from him when he went from a projected first rounder to 144th pick. I said I would bear. I didn't do it. And maybe somebody should. But it looked like there's so many jerseys that I wondered to myself, is this 144 jerseys? You would fucking imagine this. I'm diabolical at this. You want to play with me? Let me play back with you. Imagine this. The dude would say, if he laid that out. And it was 144 12 jerseys that he was standing on in that photo shoot. 144. That's that number. That's that number. I told you. God protected is 144. He's standing on top of 144 12 jerseys. Symbolic that I'm standing on top. I sold more jerseys than anybody, made more money than everybody. All of you who thought I was down, all you did was lift me up. That's why the haters hate that pick. That's why I said it was so much brilliance in that picture. That was boss game. That was boss game. I need to go count them jerseys. I don't know if they're as diabolical as I am and shit like that. Oh, I would have. Oh. I'd have put 144 down. I'd have made sure you know it's 144. And I'd have made sure you knew I sold more of these than any rookie in the history of the NFL. And I got more of these from it than anybody in the history of the NFL. You think that's where he won the most? Do you people see what I'm saying? Where did he win the most? In the jerseys. And him standing on top is a subliminal message that I happen to like. I said, wow, young man, strut your shit. That's exactly what he was doing. That's exactly what he was doing. And coach, man, and everybody getting on him, calling that high capping and stuff. Yes, it's capping. It's capping you. It's capping all of you who said this man, who tried to destroy this man, who tried to break him down, who tried to tear him apart. He did just, it was brilliance. It was absolute brilliance. I gotta give it to him. Yeah. Very few people would have placed it there and done it that way. And that's why so many critics are talking about it. Because they know. They know. They know. Yeah. I gotta get that, man. I gotta get that. You know. I really do. I gotta get that pick and see if I can go and find out if they put that number there. Because I think that would be brilliance if they did. Brilliance. So yeah. Okay, let me finish with tell you guys, because I still don't know. And I'm gonna tell you in the NFC, because I don't know who I would pick. I really do not know. If you twist my hand, right, I don't know. Where do I go? I can't, come on, man. That's what you do. I should be able to. I can't bring my mouth. I can't bring my mouth to say it. I can't bring my. I can't see a clear favorite in the AFC. I cannot see a clear favorite in the AFC. I can see a clear favorite in the NFC. I see a clear favorite if Aaron Donald comes back, or even if Aaron Donald doesn't come back. I still think the Rams has some clear favorite in the NFC. But favorites are not what plays games. When you talk about right now, we don't have everything set. But the base of what everybody has, when I look at the base of what Rams have on offense with Matthew Stafford and Puka and all of those guys, and Devontae, and then what they acquired here with the defense. Right now in the NFC, on the eye gate right off, I'll take them. I clearly say the Rams in the NFC. And if you get Aaron Donald, I'm like, whoa, that's even more cake on your cookie. But that doesn't mean I exclude the Cowboys out of this, because the Cowboys have the makings of what the Rams have. And I'm talking about on defense with what they're putting together. You may have two of the best defensive players of this generation on one defense, on the defensive line. And I told you guys before, that reminds me of the Philadelphia Eagles defense, man, when the defensive line was just so hard and so tough. But yeah, that was, and it was hard to beat teams like that because we were trying to run the ball so much. So there's only so much you can do, because the run game was such a big part of the game. Those guys could always make an impact. But now, we've gone from 25 passes, 30 passes a game to 55, 60 passes a game. Why? Because the run game is not the same. Running backs don't even get paid the same. And quarterbacks now plays a short passing game to help be and tie into the run game. So I can limit your effectiveness of the defensive line if I develop enough to have a quick game and help my offensive line by beating you with the throw. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and we move down the field. You move down the field. So your two greatest talent can be, they can't be stopped, but they can be rendered less effective. Less effective. And you just can't have these long drops on passes, because those two guys coming rushing is going to be a dangerous game. So what they'll do is keep that. You got to make 14, 12, 13, 14 play drives. Because they're just do. And yes, that's a tough way to go, but it also wears down those big fellas up front. And that'll be the big deal. Keep burping here. That'll be the big thing up front. And the one thing I do feel good about too, when I'm talking about that matchup for the Cowboys, is Tyler Smith has been named the number one guard in the NFL. The number one guard in the NFL, the attitude he has. I remember a young Eric Williams coming in when there was a Reggie White dominating everybody. And the young Eric Williams came in at tackle and changed everything. And I believe I see this with Tyler Smith in these boys right here. And that's why I still say Dallas can beat the Rams, because of what they have on that offensive line. They have a dog to fight a dog. Now we can have the other dogs try to stop this monster of just one dog. Because yeah, we can one-on-one sometimes that dog. You know, we can one-on-one. I know Aaron Donald had won more double teams than anybody in the National Football League in his generation. He still leads, and he didn't play in the last couple of years. But still, we can one-on-one that in that battle I want to see. Key component for this year offensively. And I talked with Coach the other day. A long time. I love him, man. I love Coach. He's a good dude. He's a good dude. Coach Luna Wells, tight end coach. That's going to be the key component for us. We got two dangerous wide receivers, so people are going to shell out a lot. Shell out. That means they're going to run shell coverages over the top of those two receivers. Now all you have is the middle of the field, tight end and linebackers. Tight end and linebackers. And tight ends must beat linebackers 95% of the time. You know, you must make them want to get that backer out of there and drop in. A Caleb Downs or a Darren Woodson. You know, I heard something, and I don't mean to digress here, but I know we got the Hall of Fame coming up soon, and Darren Woodson didn't make it this year, didn't do it again. And I heard somebody talking about, like, Darren Woodson's not, you know, was overrated. Are you joking? Darren Woodson was great in the slot. Darren Woodson was as good as the top safeties you see right now in this night. Kyle Hamilton's a bad boy. But Darren Woodson was real. Darren Woodson was like Detroit Palomalos and the Ed Reeds. Darren Woodson, the all-time leading tackler for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm telling you, y'all can say what you want to say. And Darren Woodson ran a 4.2. A 4.2. So whoever was saying that, man, you need to just hold up, bro. You don't know what you're talking about, bro. Bro, you ain't watching no football. You didn't watch football. And I loved it because it was on social media, and then they showed that then somebody else came right back and dropped in Darren Woodson playing the Minnesota Vikings. And he was covering Chris Carter in the slot. I remember that because that game, I remember Randy Moss was coming in, and we were supposed to draft Randy Moss, so I was really anxious to go against him. And Randy really wanted to play the Cowboys, and of course he destroyed us. I think he had 163 yards on 3 catches. And I did like 8, 9 catches for 140 yards in that game. Fumbled a game. I fumbled. That's the first time. That's the first game. That's the first game I really had some doubt. Because, you know, like the young guys are taking over. I remember saying that, man, trying to beat Randy, because I wanted to always be the best receiver on the field that day. I had to have the best numbers. Every game I walked in, I said, your job was to be the best receiver on the field today. You know, it's all the way around. I got to be the best player, the best leader. I got to do everything. Be the best, be the best, be the best. I got to beat the guy across the street. And I didn't beat Randy. He had 3 catches, 360-some yards, and 3 touchdowns. I think I scored a touchdown, 140 yards or something like that. I had 10 catches, but we lost that game. I don't know why I digress to tell you all of this. Well, I remember I fumbled that game. I remember fumbling and going to the sideline. That's what I'm telling you. And that's the first time I thought, man, it's the first, you know what, I swear to you, it's the first time I said to myself, man, maybe I am getting old. Maybe I am getting old. I had to shake that shit and stop talking about that. Let's get ready to go. Let's go, you know. At mine, that was 98. Yeah, in 99 I got hurt, I guess. That's interesting. Why'd I go back there? I don't know. But yeah, Darren Woodson was a bad boy, man. So we got to do something and get Darren Woodson in. But I still would say, you got to tell me, get somebody, let me hit it before we move around here. Who would you guys say? Because I've been thinking about this even while I'm talking to you. Rams are the most talented NFC. Adding McDuffie, Garrett, and possibly Dawn on defense is adding legit Pro Bowl talent to slow down the team like Seattle that were already right there with offensive lead. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying too now. I'm with you on this, Brandon, and that's why I said the Rams too. But you got to remember now. Bringing talent back and putting talent together don't always produce the best football teams. Because remember, how many times I say this? It's skill and will. Skill and will. You can have the greatest skills. And those teams, the Rams have the greatest skill. But they're coming in with a bunch of guys that have had individual success. Right? And now, this defense is not just going to be about individual success. It's going to be about your collective success. And if everybody always think they've been good and great all around, sometimes it's hard to get all those girls on one page. Because he was over there with his skirt up, 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 and they all got all the attention. And now they're all on one team, and now they have to share all that attention. Everybody don't deal well with that. There was, years ago, I remember Philadelphia was supposed to have a super team in football. With that, I mean, it started off horribly. Sometimes in football, you get these super teams, it doesn't, because you can't play by yourself. And you get a bunch of guys that are very good and thinking it's all about them, and everywhere they've been is about them. And if it's not about them now, they'll sabotage that defense because coach don't like me. Coach want him. Coach want him to be the star. Coach want him. Dude, it don't make it automatic. And that's what I love about it. And that's why I'm going to be straight with you. I know everybody rather have the great talent to put it all together. I'd rather have more of what the Cowboys are doing when I'm talking about building the defense, because the Cowboys are coming from a place where everybody been shitting on us. Nobody thinks we're worth anything. So we can easily come together and show people it's a different fight than having all these top players and these top names come together, because they all prima donnas or been prima donnas or stars everywhere else, and now you're telling them to give up some of their shine and some of their light, and they may not be with that. All of these, I'm going to be the highest paid, I'm the highest paid guy. That means I wanted to be about me. Big E was a monster. He pushed the O-line to be nasty. You dead, hey, dead ass, dog. Shiny, you dead, hey, Shiny Star, you dead ass. And when Larry Allen wouldn't have been Larry Allen if he wasn't with Big E. And that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. When I first saw them, they wasn't the greatest. And they would have been, everybody would have been saying, oh, Aaron Donald and Myles Garrett is going to kill him. Listen, I would battle. I swear to you right now, right here, I would take a young Larry Allen and a young Eric Williams, and we will whoop Aaron Donald and Myles Garrett ass. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that. I swear nobody, I don't care about what nobody say, yeah, say what you want to say. Say what you want to say. I love Myles Garrett, but I've seen what he did with Reggie White. And Myles Garrett is a bad boy. But I'm not saying there's a drop-off with him and Reggie. And I think Reggie, Reggie was bigger. I don't know about stronger. Because Myles looked like a Greek god, you know what I'm saying? I don't know about all that, I don't know. And you see him dunking that basketball. He has such force and explosiveness. But it won't matter. Because that Big Nasty, if Myles on that end and Big Nasty, Big E, when he kicked back that leg and he catch you, and Big E hit you, and he headbutts Myles gonna slow that shit down. He gonna have a headache. He gonna slow that shit. I would take those two against those two. Now, all we got now is Tyler Smith. But what you just said, Shining Star, Tyler Smith gonna help those boys get that nasty attitude for the rest. All caps, the Cowboys will be in the Super Bowl against the Bills and win it. Okay, that's what I was about to ask you guys. Who you guys have on the AFC? So height of health, you got you saying the Bills. That would be now Cowboys will be in the Super Bowl against the Bills. You saying the Bills will win, right? Okay, true with the 11 Eagles. And then we'll count some players. Yeah. Who was that? Was that the 2011 Eagles? Was that Brandon? That was 2011 Eagles when, remember, they had all that talent, man. God, everybody was supposed to be so great. Man, I'm like, man, please. You know, I watched so much tape of Big E today. Why? Dude, yeah, I'm telling y'all go watch, go watch tape. And go look up Go look up the guys that have played against him. Michael Strahan. Look up. Michael Strahan talks about Eric Williams. You know, I'm not telling you to go check with guys that were not superstars. I'm talking about all of them. Reggie. Look up Reggie White. Talks about Eric Williams. I don't know why Eric Williams not in the Hall of Fame. Honestly, and if he didn't have the car accident, he would. I mean, that and that's the true reason we didn't win 3 in a row. If Big E would have been there, yeah. But God bless him. Dude, come on, man. We're no Chiefs. Why you gonna do that? Come on, stop. Am I cutting out? Phil, I ain't even cut out, buddy. Mike, stop. The Chiefs are not winning the AFC. And the Chiefs not good. It'll be a great story though to see, like, okay, say they start out a little rocket at a 2-3, and then Patrick Mahomes come back. No, they start out at a 1-4. Let's do a 1-4. And or 1-3 because Pat stays out the first 4 games on injured reserve. 1-3, and then Pat comes in. And then 2-3, and then 3. And that'll be a great little run. It'd be something great to talk about, some good fodder for me to talk about on there and on here. But the reality is, I don't believe that's going to have any chance of that happening. I just don't believe that have any chance of that happening. I just had a retro autograph jersey on my man cave. This might be our year, Cowboys. Yeah, I believe so too. And where'd you get the jersey from? Were you out at Fanatics? Did you get it out there? So everybody out there, man, I seen you beat Dion. He was just faster. Yeah, he was, dude. Dude, the mug, dude. Dude, I was seeing some highlights because they got the thing out. Also, Michael and Dion on that out on social media, and I ran a bang 8 go. Because Dion, whatever I got on the outside of numbers, right with my inside leg up, Dion knew I was going to hit that 4-step and try to, it's a 4-step deep slant, we call it the bang 8. And Dion, he sits, watch when he sits back with one leg back. And he has, the same thing Trayvon Diggs does. He has a shoot point. He plays wide receiver. So he knows my alignment. He knows he plays wide receiver in our offense. So, when he got over here, that's when I found out he knew all of this stuff because, he's like, oh, yeah. Man, yeah, that's all I studied, Mike. Every time you line up right here, because he started talking to me about it. So it was more funny than anything. But we thought that I knew he was going to sit and jump the spot, especially on a big down. So it was like 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. So we need 3rd and 8, 9 anyway. So I got to take it deep enough to get to the marker. That 4th spell, bam, bam. I come in. I'm expecting Dion to jump right here, and he did. Whoop, and he did. He jumped. He jumped to a pump, and then I turned around, and I'm going up the field, but this joker turned around quicker and outran me to the ball. That means I beat him. And then he got recovered, ran by me, and still caught the ball. I was like, this mother. I said, okay, all right. I gotta keep him close to me. I gotta beat him up. I cannot get in any kind of foot race with him whatsoever. I never wanted to go up top over Dion. I always wanted to keep him here. I just got to keep him, get out of the way. You can't, there's no running with him. There's no outrunning him. It ain't gonna happen. Just a difference. It's a difference. I wonder why they break off into all of that, but it's just a difference. Some people are just different. And what I say to Dion is like I'm saying to Big E and Larry Allen, I think that battle. We should do that. What? I can give you any offensive tackle and any guard in the history of the game, I'm taking Larry Allen and Big E over any combination in the history of the game. And we've had some great ones. If you're going up against Aaron Donald and Myles Garrett, what two offensive line, what guard and what tackle would you take? If you can go use any guard or any tackle in the history of the game. Those are good battles now, because I don't know how many guards you guys know, but like you can use a Randy McDaniels with Big Orlando Brown, Big Orlando. What's just the big boy name from the Rams? Remember? Or Jack Slater. Oh my God. Yeah, you can take a Frank Martin with a Jack Slater. Be a bad boy. Jack Slater was a bad boy. Yeah. Anthony Munoz, that's another one. Yeah, I love that. Orlando Pace. That's what I was talking about, man. I was thinking about Orlando Pace. Allen, I'm taking Big Allen and Big E too. But I love Jack Slater. That's another one. That's another bad boy. Hey, golly. Dude. What's that tackle? The tackle. I'm going to tell you a bad tackle too. That boy in Detroit. Pino Sewell was a bad boy. You talking about an athletic bad dude. Yeah. I would put him in there. Lomas Brown, Detroit. I got Lomas. Lomas a bad boy. I appreciate you taking time years ago at Lifetime when you were hooping with Pac-Man to make my own. Oh yeah, Pac-Man told that story, dude. You remember that time I came to Lifetime Fitness with Pac-Man. That's when he had just gotten there. And I was trying to help Pac-Man. I was getting him back on the Dallas with Jerry. I had been talking to him. I had him come on the show, and I said, Jerry, let me work with him, and we can get him. Because I wanted to give him an opportunity. Man, I had just really retired. And my whole motto was trying to help dudes that got in trouble, because I had gotten in trouble, you know what I mean? Which I still love, and I still love playing. Jonathan Ogden, that's a bad boy, man. J.O. was a bad boy. But yeah, that was the time I was out there, Lifetime Fitness too. Let me tell y'all about that Joker, man. I picked the Joker up, we go. Jerry got me hanging with him so we could talk about things and make sure. I was in charge with checking his mindset to see if he was really prepared to do right, And I was, hey man, Pac, ain't gonna do something, ain't gonna do anything, man. No, I'm like, man, I better not. I said, come on, man, man, let's have anybody find out. Let's have a good time, man. I said, no, I'm like, man, but at this time, he wouldn't do anything. I was asking him just to see what he was gonna do. You know what I mean? But I was like, no, dog, man, we'll be all right, man. Don't worry, we'll get it. But he wouldn't do anything. I said, Jerry, we good. He's ready. He ain't gonna be doing anything. You can tell. Let your way, man. No, man. I don't want to mess up, man. I just want to get back in the league, everything. So that was what. And then I brought him on my radio show so the city can get used to him. It was how I was going to interview him. I told him, I said, how I interview you and what we talk about, this is to get you accepted here so I can get Jerry to start working on the back deal. He said, yeah, I got you. And we were doing the interview. And I was asking him about every little situation. Because remember, he was getting in all those situations. At the strip club, I thought it was a little bit much that we kept talking about him at the strip club. It wasn't illegal to be at the strip club, but he gets in fights sometimes at the strip club. But we were going through all of them. I said, okay, this one. You went 19, they said, I give it a date and what happened. He said, yeah, man, but that wasn't my fault, man. This is what happened. And then he'll tell me that. And then I get into this one. And then I say, this date, what happened? Yeah, man, but no, and that's just the person, man. They were acting fool. I said, hey, so I'm tapping this joker under the chin. You gotta take responsibility. Stop. I've gone through 6 of these things that have happened off the court. Happened off the football field with you. And every one of them, you put it on somebody else. I said, stop doing it. I'm like this doing the end. And I swear to y'all, I write on a note, because we're in the radio, it was radio. They were doing the live stream thing too, but they couldn't see it. I wrote on a note, take responsibility. Here. I said, okay, let's talk about this next one. Now, what happened is, he said, you know, man, but you know what, man, I take full responsibility for all of it. Like me, no matter what I say, and other people still gonna say, you know, so I'm just going to say, I'll explain it to people, but I take full responsibility. I'm like, yeah, you just say that, you know what I mean? Because people, I'm trying to douse the fire that's going to come after we announce we're going to sign you. And if it sounds like we rehabbed you here, would be good to get you there with less fan, all that mess coming from the media. You know, was the plan, and it worked. We got him over there. But yeah, but when he first got there, I brought him to basketball, play some basketball, right? Let me tell you something. We go to the gym, we're Lifetime Fitness, right? We walk in. First, as soon as I pick this joke up from the airport. I go get him, Jerry. I go get him from the airport. We get him. He come walking out. He looking at us. What's up, Doc? We walk out. Pac looks at me. He looking up. You know, Pac-Man a real dude. I love him, man. I love him. Love nephew. I love him to death. I really do. He looked at me. He said, "This is a true story. Like, you're a big nigga, but I believe I can get you." I said, "What?" He said, "You a big nigga, but I believe I can get you." I said, "Boy, get out of here, man. Get on, man. Come on, man. We ain't talking about that, man. We ain't even talking about that." You know, he was measuring me up the whole way, which I love. That means he's a fighter. And any man that's a true fighter is always measuring up, because if he has to fight, he has to be ready to fight. And as soon as we get to the basketball court, I just wanted to go shoot around. He wanted to challenge me. Let's go, bro. 1-on-1. I said, "Boy, get out of here. You too small for that, man. Get out of here." "No, let's go, bro." I said, "Bro, you're too small for that. If you're too small here, you're way too small out there," you know. But we did play some basketball, man. I love that joker, man. I was on his show. I got to get him on. I got to bring him on onto my show, man, for you guys, man, and talk that relationship, because I love him. He's a good dude, man. And I love what he's doing now. You know what I mean? I love what he's doing now and the things he's putting in right now and the work he's doing. You know, so yeah, I'm happy with that, man. I am happy. I got to go in that gym now. Here it's only 6:40. I'm with you guys, you know, I'm in LA. Tomorrow, listen, let me tell you something. We're getting ready to go to football too, and go into Miami stuff. We talked a lot about Dallas, but I had Adrian James come in, because I want to do this Miami run up to the season on the White House. Like I interviewed Adrian James. Tomorrow I'll have Devin Hester, and then I'm gonna get Mark Fletcher and Malachi Tony, just to give Miami a run up. Boop, 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 boop. And you know, the Cowboys we're gonna do like divisions and a run up also. But I can't wait to talk to Devin Hester tomorrow. And I'll have Devin Hester on. Now let me tell you something. I believe Devin Hester. So funny, I was talking about Dion, and we were talking about Pac-Man, two great returners. Dion and Pac-Man, two great returners. But the only returner I've ever in my life saw Shedeur Sanders say he's second to is Devin Hester. Devin Hester. I couldn't imagine what Devin Hester, the value he would have right now in the National Football League. Remember when Devin played running back? Devin played wide receiver. Devin Hester played cornerback. He was the first all-around dude before any of these all-around dudes came. Devin Hester was. He was gold. Boop. Opening kickoff in a Super Bowl in Miami. It's moments that the greats rise up to be greater. In those great moments, that's what people remember. And Devin Hester, he did it. I can't wait to have him. It'll be on the White House show, but I can't wait to have him because I want him to put together, boom, 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 all that run up to the Miami Hurricanes season. And of course, the run up to the Cowboys season. All right. Devin got his TDs without interception returns. Yeah, Devin got his TDs without interception return. You're right. Dude, great point. So when we were talking about the number of touchdowns you got on returns, Dion and Pac-Man they'll both have interception returns. Devin Hester won't have those interception returns, but he will have them TDs right on up there. That's a good point. And see, that's what I like. That's what I want to talk football with guys like that. I want to talk football with gals like that. I want to talk football with football people like that know football. That was very good, my brother. All right, I got to get that weight room, man, so I can try to stay right, stay in this fight, so I can bring you Mike all night. I'm just a happy man right now. You know, I'm a happy man. I cannot wait. I'm going to be so busy this season, peeps. You guys be following and running around with me. I'm telling you, listen to what I'm saying. I'm going to be so busy. It's going to be crazy. I'll be probably as busy as I've ever been this year. And I'm going to bring you along. Because this new little world jump, where cameras everywhere. Everywhere I go now, I'm just taking cameras. I'm telling you, I don't know about streaming, but I'm streaming. I'm streaming some already, you know? So yeah, and places that I get to go and things I get to do and the people I get to see, and I'm all over the place with it. I don't want to just be in football. That's why I was at the home run derby. You know what I mean? I want to be everywhere, meeting people, touching people, and lifting people. You know? And ultimately, when my time here on earth is done, and I leave time and go to eternity, the people I touch, and all of this that I'm doing, the people I touch and try to help, you know, those are the people I'm going to put on the table when God asks, what have I done to deserve going to heaven? I can't put my trophies up, but if because I have the trophies, it has given me this avenue to talk sports and football, but in the midst of talking sports and football, I'm talking with people, and I take this avenue and we lift each other up. Yeah, that's what I put on the table. Yeah, God. I brought a show that I considered my ministry. We talked about the great people in the world and things they accomplished, and we made sure that people knew that they've accomplished something great, but they are human and they have issues and they had to overcome just like you do, just like I do, like we all have to. And we all find a way to make it work and be better for our own selves and to be a better servant of God. Peeps, stay in the weight room. You got out and do shining. Shannon, it sound like a marathon, man. Yeah, man, Shannon on that battle too, bro. You know, I'm glad you say that. Shannon and I, we on the battle. Wait, Shannon, I'll call Shannon. He's like, man, what's up, man? I said, you don't look like this. You don't look like this. What you talking about, man? We'll mess around. We'll get you in the way. I ain't talking about lifting no heavy weight. I'm just talking about looking fine. I ain't nobody lifting no heavy weights, you know, because he's so strong. Sterling and Shannon is like Larry Allen strong. That's a different kind of strong. That ain't strong. That's strong. That's a different kind of strong. Sterling Sharp. Ooh, that's a different kind of strong. Shannon, he has that too, you know. But yeah, I'm talking about Joker. I'm talking about that fat you got around that waist, coming off that back. Mine a straight feet. Phew! Don't even act like that, boy. But I'm messing with him. That's my boy, man. I love that dude, man. I really do. I love Shannon, man. Shannon's a great dude. Y'all just stop playing. Now, Shannon's a great dude. I can't wait to see him. I better leave it there. I'm about to tell y'all something, but we got enough of that. I better tell y'all something. We need a belt to ass on Cowboys sideline. Hey, boy, I'm telling you, I'm going to bring that belt to ass to the NFL this year. Tell you right now. I don't know how I'm bringing belt to ass, but I'm going to bring it. I've been thinking about this because I've been thinking, do I do, even on my Netflix show, a belt to ass segment on Mondays and pick out somebody that needs a belt put to their ass from what I saw on Sunday. It's Monday's belt to ass moment. You know what I mean? BTA moment. I could actually go sell that to some. I go sell that spot to some gambling company. BTA Street. Our connotation will be belt to ass. Theirs would be like bet this always. And I can do that. BTA Street, belt to ass, bet this always, and give you the games that I think will absolutely win. Like you should bet this always. Like the Dallas Cowboys going up against the Giants, bet this always. Bet this, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. I'm just, we're in the midst of talking with all the sponsors now, so my brain is twisted and going on it. All right, that's it. Let me stop talking. I'm going to talk. I'm talking too much like a leaking faucet. So let me go get that weight rolling. All right, peeps. I appreciate the love. I'll see you guys next week.